you guys think about the Trump at McDonald's working there over the weekend? Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think he looked like I think he enjoyed himself. I mean, I think he really does like to work, and I think he likes being part of that atmosphere. That came across to me. I mean, he seemed to be very full of conviviality or whatever. I mean, I think he loved it himself.
I think it was the best thing in the world. I think it took Kamala Harris and slapped her right side of the face and all the Democrats. I think it was a great photo shoot. It was
Mhm.
authentic, and I think it has blown the media's mind and all the political pundits.
Yeah, but I can tell you who's not happy with it.
Who's that?
The political pundits on the left.
Oh
They're
yeah,
saying things like Donald Trump has his dementia so bad that he couldn't even make French fries.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, sure.
yeah. Put one of those fat asses out there to try to see if they can do it.
No, but he, like you said, he was genuine with people, and you can't fake that.
Well, you remember that one guy I talked to you earlier about that guy, the Tyrus.
Tyrus.
Yeah, Tyrus.
He was surprised. Tyrus was surprised at how really genuine, concerned he was talking to his 10-year-old Tyrus's 10-year-old child, and the kid's way from far away from being be able to vote in any elections. So it wasn't grandstanding. Trump is a family man. I mean, Kamala Harris is a cackling hen who doesn't have any real value. I see as a human being. I don't. I mean, Donald Trump is tied to the communities he's been in. He's tied to everywhere he goes to. He has, I think, and it's really key. I keep on going back to this. For a person who is born with a silver spoon in his mouth, the proverbial silver spoon, he resonates better with the working class than that. But I don't even know if she's like.
I wouldn't call it working class. I would call it the average American.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but
I'm sick of being called the working class. Like I'm the working class. You're gonna look down on me because I work.
that I never really.
I am America. You are America.
Yeah, right.
They're not.
No, they're not. They're
No.
The elitist.
no,
But
they're
they've
not.
always wanted us to believe that we're the working class, we're the worker bees,
Yeah.
and they're
Like
American,
and
and
like
they're
we have
saving our
no
democracy.
and like we have no input on what should happen in the United States. We should look up to these elitist crack addicts.
Well, what cracks me up is when you listen to these pundits, they're like, "Well, it was a photo shoot."
Yeah.
No,
Of
duh.
course it
Could
was.
you
Yeah, of
really
course it
tell
was.
me
He's running
something?
for office, but he made it in a way where it wasn't okay. It was staged,
Yeah.
but the way that he went about it, he actually wanted to learn how to work at McDonald's. And like he said at the beginning, that he loves McDonald's.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he
but-
loves the people that work there.
Did you see how long the lines were? 8 deep with
Yeah.
people watching them come in. And I mean, it was like what, a half mile to a mile long of people just standing out there waiting for
Of
them to
course,
drive by.
they didn't show that.
No.
There was like a little parade going on on
And-
both sides of the road.
And they didn't tell. And some of the people that actually were served, coming in,
Mhm.
they weren't even told that they were going to actually get served by Donald Trump.
Right.
And the girl that she was on one of the news stations, and she was talking about. She said he was so authentic. She said, looking into his eyes, it was like looking into one of my best friend's eyes. He's just so authentic. He's got a charisma. He's just one of the nicest guys you.
But
ever
he's
talk
like
to.
that favorite uncle that you would go to a
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
reunion that would have stories about the family or whatever,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
be a fun guy to talk to.
He always come across that part when he after become, he was no longer the apprentice, the hard-bitten CEO. I didn't like the apprentice. I didn't. I got to admit that. I
But
didn't like
even
it.
there, he was nice.
He was nice.
He was nice to the people there.
You just never understood the depth of him though until after you become the president and you see him on a more day-to-day basis. I mean, and if you got to look at, they might mock him because of photo op, that because of that McDonald's photo op, but look at his work ethic. I mean, he's put more time and effort becoming a president over a job he doesn't require for support. He's not using this to build his damn nest egg like these other SOBs are. He's got plenty and more. He's putting himself at risk doing this, as we can obviously see with almost like three attempts on his life.
But what I found interesting, getting back to the Tyrus interview, I didn't know that Trump paid for Nelson Mandela and his family and his entourage to come to the United States.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that.
How about all the different people that have had major medical things that Trump has said, do not tell the press, and he sends his Air Force, he sends his Trump plane,
Yeah.
and has them haired up and going out there and pick these kids up and take them to hospitals.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, it goes back to even our own local Trump, which was, in my opinion, Don Williamson.
right.
He couldn't do anything without the media getting all over him. People, they treat him like he's an idiot, and he was a self-made millionaire. It's like Trump is a self-made billionaire.
Right.
Well, as you bring that up too, and I mean, I don't like to admit this, but Michael Moore, who I detest, politically, he did a lot of stuff on the slide because he didn't want people to connect it to him because he knew there'd be a backlash.
Right.
He did the
He
same thing.
helped Flint. He was helping Flint. No, he was, because we were back in the day.
Yeah.
We were in the know.
Yeah, and
Right.
he did a lot of stuff that he basically kept it on the very QT.
Well, he even admitted. I mean, what was the name of that newspaper?
the broadside,
Uncommon Press.
Uncommon Sense.
Uncommon Sense.
Right,
He was involved in that.
right.
But the people, they actually met with him. But we met with the editor in chief of the Uncommon Press, or Uncommon Sense.
Uncommon
Sorry.
Sense, yeah.
And he explained to us that Michael Moore had a conversation with him. That don't put my name on anything. He paid for the film. Remember with the film fest?
Yep.
He paid for that.
So I mean, he did a lot. So and that's the people who actually have the see. That's what good thing we want. I'd like to see people have all kinds of money because guess what? When we have such a disaster, such happened in the hurricane in North Carolina,
You shouldn't need
we
government.
shouldn't need government. We could say, hey, these billionaires and all the rest of us maybe get $50, $100 because guess what? We're all more prosperous. Prosperity is a good thing, folks. It's not a bad thing. It's not greed to want to have prosperity because that means then you can enjoy the benefits of your labor. Everybody else can enjoy the benefits of their labor. Nobody feels like they're having a gun held to their head by a collection agency called the IRS.
But you as a business owner should be able to attest to that you don't need government to tell you that not to make people sick.
No, it is. It's so stupid because as a business owner, you want to give more to the community. You know how many times when we open up a coffee shop and we own stores and everything, do you know how many times we get people come in every day asking from different charities to
For help?
Yep,
for help, and
right.
you want to give,
Right.
and you have to say no. Like come around February, March, you have to start saying no because like you start having out money in January. By February, March, June, by June, you're pretty much tapped out all the money you're
Right.
passing
But
out.
if businesses were smart,
And
what they would do is start their own charitable giving instead of giving it to. Who's better to decide how the money should be spent and who it's going to go to, rather than you give it to a third party? You know what I'm saying? Then it's split up and.
A year ago, that's why about.
But whereas you're giving it, 100% of what you give is going to go to the person or organization that you want it to go to.
Yeah. And that's why we made a decision 2 years ago that this is it, and we lost partners because of it.
Well, I mean, in this world, you can't trust anybody. I mean, even the nicest people that come to the front men to try to get money to you, you may find out that organization that's asking for money is a scam. It's so easy now to throw up
And most of the money the boards go to, most of the money goes to the boards, most of the money go to all the different parts, the quote unquote conventions, all the other things they go to. And right now, basically, you have to give the money to people 100%.
But as a religious organization, me and John can attest to the fact it's hard to get people to give you money, so we don't even try.
Right.
Because the best way though, I've noticed this lately that a lot of people just say, I really appreciate what you're doing to give us $25, $30. You know what? That's probably a better approach to do it. We appreciate that. Believe me, it's beyond words. Even the small amounts you give us, we do use towards this ministry or the church or the studio. So I mean, we really appreciate that. And it's not a concerted effort.
No, but we've been doing this for how many years?
2007.
We never asked for money from people.
No, and then a lot of certain political party always wants us to help them out, but they never will.
We got more. All of our money's come from the Democrats.
Yeah.
And most of the time we didn't even ask for it. It was just given to us. Republicans, we've had some power hitters in here and nothing.
Nothing. You bring up money, it's like crickets. They'll ask you like, how do you fund this? And you'll say, out of our own pocket. And then they just like look the other way. Okay.
I'm sorry about the whistling, but yeah.
And they'll find the door faster.
Let's see you next year when I'm going to campaign again.
Yeah.
But it's turning about too though, because a person I know who's been connected to it, he actually brought up the subject the other day. I'm not going to mention names, but he's a great man, and I think. But he said, I never thought it never dawned on me that you guys need help. I was like.
Yeah, but he's a whole different. He's in a whole different ball game.
Right.
He's one of the best guys that would give you the shirt off your back. If he would have known that we needed help, he would help.
That's a problem. We didn't.
But we don't ask.
Right. So I mean, thank you. But I do think the people just recently giving me wasn't a huge amount of money, but it was like
it's just nice.
It's just nice, yeah.
To get money. I mean, unexpectedly get
Well-
10, $20, $50.
A woman the other day after church, I do the streaming video from. I've been doing it for several years. She stopped me and asked how they could find it online, and I told her, and I said, "Well, I'll show you more when we always have a lunch after the service." And she reached into her purse, pulled out her wallet, and handed me some money. I didn't even look at it. I just took it, and I said, "Well, I can't, receive this at first." And she goes, "This is from me." So after church service, I got home, I pulled it out of my pocket. She gave me $50 because what the streaming video stuff we do for the church, she want to, show how much she appreciated for that. So I mean,
We don't ask for money.
we don't ask for that though. No. And that was just amazing. I mean, I was like, almost like,
We just want to help
emotional
the
about it.
church because
Right.
it's a smaller church and they're unique.
Yeah, it's real unique. So, Assyrian Church, the Marshall Mohambar by Assyrian Church of the East. It's on Lewis Street. It's the oldest and the first Assyrian Church of the East outside the old world. So, anyway, it's like a unique church, and it celebrated its 100th anniversary in this location here in Flint last summer in 2023 of August or July of August. Yeah, I kind of blurs together now, but
I had that joke running through my head.
what's that?
You know how you catch a unique rabbit?
How's that?
Unique up at it.
I like that. It's something like an Elmer Fudd takeoff.
Oh, speaking of Waltz,
Yeah. Speaking of Walsh,
How's good old Elmer?
I wonder if
Fudd
you ever got that gun loaded.
Oh my god, that gun or the other guns? What are they?
Oh, did you see that over the weekend where it came out where a couple college kids said Jesus is the Lord
Yeah.
and yelled it out during
Yep.
Kamala Harris
That was like that was
rally.
the day, that was
What did she say?
that was the same day that she
I know, but
skipped
what did
Al
she
Smith.
say?
She said, okay, so the same day of Al Smith's dinner that she skipped, which was a slap to the Catholics, which is 22. I found out.
Okay, but what
Wait,
did she
what
say?
said, she was sitting there saying something, and they said Jesus. They just screamed out it was about the abortion thing, and she said
You're at the
screamed
wrong
out,
rally. You want to go to
Yeah,
the other
you need to go to the
rally
smaller
smaller
rally,
rally
the
down the road,
smaller-
meaning the Trump rally.
Yeah, but she was
Telling
reading
Christians that they're not welcome
that. And
at her
so
rallies.
one kid said Christ is King, one said Jesus is Lord,
And
and she
she,
screamed out
you're at the wrong rally.
and
Yeah.
laughed at him.
yeah, she got that laugh.
When all she had to do, any other congressman or any other politician worth their salt would have said something, whether they agreed with her or not. And that one word is
Amen.
amen.
That's
and
it.
that's all it would have taken, and it would have been over.
But that would be even saying that on her. I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick myself out there. Saying that would be like a big blow to her ego because that party and those people think that they are the center of the universe.
But amen can be used
Or anything
in
but
different ways.
But here it goes a little bit different on Sunday morning because they needed. You want to talk about photo shoot? They put her into a bought out black church
Mhm.
on
Was
Sunday
it a
morning.
good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, it was a bad thing because
Why?
because somebody screamed about something because she was not having what Kamala Harris said because this has been a backlash in the church community all across.
Right.
No
So
matter
she
what
had
race you are.
protesters at the
And they
in the
brought
church.
she had a police person come and take this woman out of her church. The woman that goes to this church was
So
escorted out of her own
what you're
church.
saying is she went to a black church. The person in the one of the
Audience.
parishioners
Yes.
disagreed with her,
And they,
so she had that person removed from her
By-
own
by-
church that she was visiting.
yes.
What does that say
With the
about
police-
her?
What
With
does
the
this
police,
about the church?
by a police officer.
What does it say about her? Whether it's a police officer or somebody from the church, it doesn't matter. She was still escorted from the church.
Right. What does it say about the pastor?
It
too?
means that it means that the pastor was bought out.
Right. And another thing is this goes to show you that the police are such willing partners and
Well,
to be tyrants.
They're there on the behalf of
Not the
big
police. I'm
government.
not-
You can't.
I can't.
Okay,
you
if
can't fault the
if
police,
you're
you
a
gotta
police
fault the pastor.
officer and they're telling you that you got to go work this to feed your family, and even if you disagree with it, you're going to go. In the military, him in the military did things that we disagreed with, but we put on the uniform and that was our job to do it. So you can't bust on the police officers for doing the job that they're paid to do.
Well,
You have to
I
bust
disagree
on.
with you.
You got to bust on. You got to bust on the pastor for
Well,
allowing that. to
that's
happen.
why I keep on bringing it up. I mean, this pastor's bought and paid for. I would leave the church if I was the congregation members. I would.
I would if I was the lead deacon of that church.
Yeah.
If those lead deacons should have stood up and said, "Wait, stop right here. We're over a board meeting and firing this man."
Well,
right
I
here."
mean, I don't think even President Trump, if he does go to a church, he shouldn't be speaking at the church.
No.
He should just be visiting. And if the pastor wants to say something about him, then say something about it. But he should. There's no room in the church for a politician to be at the. There's no excuse for that politician to be at the podium.
You can't- Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, and the part is where you cannot tell me there's separation of church
Oh,
and state.
screw that.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
saying
You can't.
that.
No. Wait. You can't sit there on the freaking steps of the Capitol and scream separation of church and state, but then want to scream at a pulpit on Sunday morning.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you can't.
So she's
I agree with what Steve's saying.
Yeah.
That's bullshit to be two sides. You can't sit there and be duplicity. You can't walk in the middle. I agree with what Steve says. If you're going to show up at a church, fine. Show up at a church. Let the pastor announce that you're there. Sing whatever song
And if
you think
people
you
want
know.
to talk to you afterwards at the dinner or the lunch,
Fine.
then you can speak there.
Well, you know what? When we first started doing the podcast and stuff from the studio, I was kind of naive, and we started getting the political groups coming in and doing interviews with them. They're talking about these upcoming these pastors coming up, upcoming events at churches, and I went. And I said, I said, that's good that the pastor gives these people access, I guess, to their, but I said, I would be questioning that. And they said, believe me, they pay handsomely for that access to that pulpit. And I was naive. I said, they actually pay to get access.
I think they should.
And yeah, I didn't know that. Though.
You believe the politicians should pay to be on
that pulpit?
Yes.
I don't believe that they should even allow the pastor to even accept a penny for that, because that goes.
And if it goes back to the church, it's fine with me. The church needs to exist.
But do you think the church members should have like a say in who's allowed, they're going to allow to speak, or either
they picked that pastor, didn't they?
See, a lot of,
so that doesn't the pastor speak for them every Sunday?
Well, that
it shouldn't be.
See, certain churches have it set up there.
Well, they have deacons. It depends what kind of church it is.
Yeah, that's our point. I think it should be whatever the church is set up.
Because it's usually like Baptist church. It's not like a organized. What I mean, like Catholic church, you never see anybody going there. I mean,
no, unless somebody dies.
Yeah, unless somebody dies.
Yeah,
but it's usually like a Baptist church, or that they go to. Well, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. No, what you said, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at what I just thought. But every single time someone dies, you always see when they do those funerals, you always see the person speaking, but you see about 5 feet from them, a guy with a specter, someone from the church. So you got to think they're not going to get too far away without the guy hitting them.
But getting back to separation church and state, I think that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Because what were churches back in the day? They were the meeting hall,
right?
They were the drinking hall.
They were everything.
They were everything. They were courts would process crimes there.
It was what Thomas Jefferson wrote in a letter. It wasn't what they wrote in a bill.
No.
The liberals always say that, and then like a separation of church and state. It's in the Constitution. No, it's not. It's not. It's a letter from the Danbury Baptist, between the Danbury Baptist and Thomas Jefferson. And the way our Constitution is constructed, there is a wall of separation, and that's. I mean, they don't say you belong to this state, you live in this state, you have to belong to this church, or our national churches. They don't do that. They don't establish a national religion.
Our country's founded on Christian values.
Yeah. I mean,
if you look at what George Washington said, you cannot have the country without the values of God.
No, you can't, because let's face it, depends too much upon people's moral restraints. And when you remove God, you have a tendency to have a diminishing of moral effort, effort on morality issues. I mean, you do. I mean, then it transforms to ethics instead of morality. And well, I'd like to know where does all sense of values come from? If it's not transcendent, that's come up by people hashing out and saying this is our common interest. Okay, that's fine, but I still believe in something that you got to actually say. I got to rein myself in because there's some superior person or deity that I have to answer to, down the road. And I think that just when it doesn't have that in place, it rapidly erodes. It just falls apart. I just don't see these people being all that moral.
I think it takes more faith, and maybe I'm just foolish in this one area, but I think it does take more faith to be an atheist.
Yeah.
Than it does to be somebody that's a believer.
Well, another thing is
the thing about atheists. What do? They spend their day attacking Christians.
Right. That's all they do.
Well, another thing is they co-opted, like my friend Laura Fetterbush, and she's echoing somebody else that she heard, but I liked what she says. She goes, atheists co-opt everybody else's stuff. Like all the major universities, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, Columbia, all that, were started Princeton, Harvard, and Yale. I know that. And Columbia is kind of questionable. Originally, that was King's College, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. That was called King's College. But those were all started by religious denominations because they're training for the clergy, the clerics, and stuff like that. That's what it's trained for. And it was training ground. Now they Harvard and all this. Harvard was started by a bunch of Christian believers. Modern day science was really fueled by minds which were actually all Christians.
Yeah.
Monks are famous for I'm trying to think of one off the top of my
Gregor
head.
Mendel, he's the one who created the genetic, came up with genetics. Right?
Also, I forget what the name of the famous. Help me out. Fuck.
I don't know. Like another one is let's see, Francis Bacon. He was a big Christian. So was like Leibniz was
Every one of the biggest
big
speakers, some of the biggest writers were always from the Christian faith.
yeah
All the way from Luther all the way to
Newton, Pascal.
Pascal.
Yeah.
Michelangelo, one of the biggest his creations. Everything came from the church.
Right, the inspiration for his artwork and everything else. I mean, if you just look at the sheer number of
But they want to cover it up.
yeah, they
want to pretend like censorship. Over the weekend, you were watching. You said you had TikTok open in one hand and was football game in the other,
Right.
and it was like being in two different places.
right.
Yeah, it was like yeah.
Oh,
So I was watching
what
this.
you talked about.
So here's what I was watching the Sunday night football game. So the two guys I was watching, when Kansas City was playing some team, Travis Kelce was dating Taylor Swift, right? Every 5 seconds you're watching a thing about Taylor Swift.
But Trump was at that game, and you don't see him one time on national TV.
No.
Or did they even announce that he was there?
No, not really. Not on Sunday Night Football. On TikTok, I'm watching it and it's showing everything.
He was on the
It's
Magnetron or whatever it's called.
Showing different. Everyone's screaming USA, USA, USA. Right? I'm thinking this is going to be a really, really bad night for any Democrats who are saying that you're having a hard time connected with the guys because you know what? It's Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a man's game, everything. And so I started watching this, and I'm watching
national football. You wouldn't even know Trump was there.
You wouldn't even know.
And then when the big-breasted woman ran out on the Trump supporter ran out on the field, they didn't show that on national TV.
No, I'm watching it on TikTok. Right? And I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and it's like, oh, there's a nuisance going on in the football field. I'm thinking, I'm watching
that was the big-breasted woman.
I'm watching the nuisance, and that's what I want to see. And over here, they're like, oh, well, look at there might be a little nuisance on there on the field, and they don't say disturbance. This woman's wandering around a sign saying Trump something, and down here, Kamala Harris open borders. This head, I'm sitting there going, yeah, this might be a nuisance.
How the media censors us.
And I started thinking about that. It's like something you keep saying over and over and over, how irrelevant the media has become, because honestly, now you can watch the football and all these other
You could have watched the whole football game probably on TikTok
and watch the whole thing better.
Yeah. More like actually being there.
Yeah,
they show you what they want to see.
Yeah, and it's like, basically get some of these guys to go watch the football game, put it up on TikTok, and it would be a lot better than watching most of these things.
If somebody were smart, that's what they probably do. You probably just have to go find it. There's probably commentators that are probably better than the people on TV. Because
I was coming home last night from the show, and I only could catch the last few minutes of the football game for the Detroit Lions, and and they kept flipping over to the Green Bay Packers game. I'm like, I really don't want to listen to the Packers game, and they're like, oh, he won, and then goes over to the Lions, and it's like, I just wanted to listen to one game. Just let me listen to one thing, and it's like, please let me listen to one game. I'm like, somebody please get this on TikTok so I can just watch one.
Well, if you remember. We're old, and I know people are going to tell us we're old and we're bringing up stuff that's old and antiquated. But back in the day, there was only one football game on. Well, there might have been two, but they were so far apart. They weren't competing games. And plus, there was only 21 or 22 teams when we were growing up.
Yeah. And another thing is too, like if it was a local game, actually a lot of times there's a blackout. You couldn't see it on your local TV station.
You couldn't even see it.
Right.
A Detroit Lions game if they're playing in Detroit.
Yeah. And that's what, because they say, well, you're here, come and, pay us to see it. But now it's like, how many channels do we have? And like ESPN and all the other sports networks. And there's always
there's always a blackout. The one thing about the blackout is that they didn't sell so many tickets to the game. It was a blackout, remember?
I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Because they know they can't.
Right.
Because I remember my grandfather, he lived up north, and, all the local stations he could get, and it was like sketchy because there's like times, because we had an antenna. He lived 120 some miles from here. So it was like even like 60 miles further away from Detroit, and could very fuzzy make, and he goes, oh, I can't watch it because they blacked it out, So you have to listen to the radio. You'd have to listen to the radio for that game.
Sometimes the radio's better.
Yeah. But he'd listen to two games. He'd have one on TV and one on the radio.
Right.
It was confusing as hell for me as a little kid, but
But you know what? That was before Barry Sanders, because Barry Sanders didn't sell out all the stadiums. Now he started selling everything out, and we didn't have blackouts as much after.
How much do you know about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark, I think she got a contract offer.
Because you're really talking about somebody who draws
a great
crowd everywhere she goes. She's a WNBA basketball player.
That's
and she's like, I don't know, she's great.
I think she's the Larry Bird of the WNBA.
I said I've all the time. I mean, how many years has the
Well,
WNBA been in existence?
I know, but
Oh, for like
and
15,
exactly.
20 years.
That's what I was gonna go through.
20 years.
This is the
20,
first
25
person
years.
I've ever heard anyone
And
else
now
refer to
she
it.
made it cool.
Yeah,
She actually does. She actually
As
plays
to use
ball.
an old people word.
Right.
Cool.
cool. Yeah, what is it now called? Sick or
I mean,
whatever. yeah.
everybody. My sisters were watching it, and a diehard football fan and basketball fan. My brother-in-law,
See, I have enough.
he watches her.
Well, see, I know.
I'll watch her because she's good.
I mean, I know.
It's fun.
I get tired of watching people complaining about women athletes don't get paid as
No.
much as men because they don't have the draw. Sorry, I mean that's basically.
But then when they do get the draw, then they get all pissy about it.
right.
Oh, we could do whatever we wanted before and nobody cares. But now you got me, John, you got us guys watching now, and we're not supposed to be watching according to the average WNBA.
NBA
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
NBA, yeah.
Player.
So,
The
like I
players
said-
are upset because they're getting eyes on they're getting people, what is it, butts and benches and eyes.
Asses and seats is what
Yeah.
they're getting.
And they're upset about it because it used to be they were in their own little bubble where they
Right.
could do what they want. And now some of the things that they're doing, people don't appreciate.
Well, because they played, I'm sorry, but they played street ball. And they couldn't play regular ball. When Kaylin Clark plays ball,
She plays on a
She plays-
professional level like
right.
you would expect basketball to be
and
played.
these guys play thug ball. There's a difference.
So I said, did you play?
Yeah, I played
basketball?
basketball.
Okay.
And I also coach basketball.
Well, he's
And
taller. He's tall, so I figured
And
that.
the thing is that you play offense and defense. You don't go out there and play, street ball. You
But-
don't, you actually, you actually learn how to do
But-
layouts. You learn how to do jump shots.
Yeah.
You learn how to do
But what
different
I would
things.
do is equate these women basketball players to the Democratic Party. No, because it's an issue that's being taken away. That they're always bitching. Nobody's watching us. We're not getting the
Right.
respect that we want. And then when they start getting people watching them and start giving them the respect that they asked for, they're
They're pissed.
upset.
It's
Right.
well,
It's crazy.
You think it might be just simple fact? We
Well,
discovered
the
them
thing
first,
is,
and-
part of it is that they don't want white men watching them.
okay, no, okay.
No, and that's no, but I think that's the biggest thing.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Because honestly, it's what they said that here's what 3 commentators came out this week and said that I heard, and they said that if Kamala Harris loses this thing, it's all because the white
If she
people-
wins this thing,
if she loses this
thing?
election, this thing,
He doesn't want to say the word, but
if she loses the election, it's because the white people have to admit their guilt because
guilt in what?
yeah,
because
being
they-
born white. yeah.
I'm so confused. It's like
because it's
the
their fault.
hippie, a guy we had in here. His name's Hippie Conservative, and he stole the line from an animated series. I don't know if she's a black zebra with white stripes or a white zebra with black stripes.
Yeah, I mean, which
I'm
one is
so
she?
confused with all of her accents and
We don't know
different
what she
things.
is.
No,
I wonder if she's on medications for multiple personalities or something. Because every day, like every week, she's emerging with another accent, another identity, another identification. She
But
identifies.
I
as
mean,
something.
but this shows you Joe Biden was presidential. You couldn't take that away from him. No, I'm saying the way he carried himself is
Right.
like a president would. Of course, he had. I'm taking before he had dementia. And
Okay,
everything,
Right.
okay.
His first few weeks.
Yeah.
This
right.
she has nothing. How did she make it up to the level that she's at?
because the game
She couldn't-
changed last minute. That's what it
No,
was.
but I mean, even to be considered to be I think she was a fall guy from the beginning. That nobody wanted to be Joe Biden's vice president. That's my opinion.
That's a reasonable. That's a reasonable idea. I mean,
He had a lot better people to pick from than her.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of proving ground she went through other than being a DA or something or a prosecutor of some sort. I mean, okay, that means
And-
what?
And like I said on the show, it's been echoed in the mainstream media. She was set up to be the replacement for Joe Biden, so she could be the loser against Donald Trump, and Joe Biden
Be
could
the
go out a winner and have a legacy.
So let me ask you this question: when she loses, what do you think will happen next?
Nothing.
What will happen to her next?
Oh, her?
What will be her next step?
Nothing. She'll probably run for something and get it. Or
You think she'll go back to Senate? You think
I
she'll
don't
go back
know.
to California
It doesn't
for
matter.
governor?
It doesn't matter.
I don't. I couldn't gauge that because I don't know what the inner workings of the Democratic Party is. Who's the emerging stars. They
I'm
want to
sure
push more.
she's got some.
Do you think she's going to ride off in the sunset and just made her money?
That's
go?
the reason.
What's she going to be able to say? I mean, who's going to look at her for freaking guidance? It's not like Hillary Clinton, where no. What college is going to pay her to be a speaker? None.
The only way she's going to get it if she goes to college is somebody's already a donor and wants them. Then you say, "Hey, give her this money." Or
But she has no political. What's the word?
Cachet or
acumen,
money, whatever. The
backbone.
what I'm saying is she's got nothing to offer anybody. Like Hillary Clinton knew where all the bodies were buried because she buried them.
Right.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
Kamala.
She has no skin in the game.
Oh, okay.
Hillary Clinton.
Okay,
I'm saying she could go places and demand money.
Yeah, she could.
Bill Clinton could go places, demand money.
Right.
Even Mike could go places. Mike Obama could go places and ask for money. She can't. There's no place that's gonna give her money to come speak. She's got nothing to offer them.
No, she for all they get is got a grin and a hat cackling. I mean, who wants to pay for that? You know,
Who makes the yellow school bus?
I don't know.
Maybe
But you said something something that's also got the legacy media panties in about Donald Trump saying something about Arnold Palmer. What did you say in the shower?
I think Arnold Palmer. Arnold. Yeah. So I guess Trump said something about going golfing, came out and took a shower. Like you have to take a shower.
Yeah, communal
showers, and I guess Trump said, yeah, he saw him naked one time, and he's a man, he's well endowed or something like that.
I don't know. I thought you said he said something.
He's got a well package or something like that. So, anyways, and that's got the media all saying.
Well, they should love him now because he's like he fits the demographic they kind of.
I thought you said he was well put together or something. He didn't say anything directly about his penis size.
No, he said,
but it could be.
Yeah,
he didn't
well packaged or something like that. So.
But still, they're upset because he pointed out that
he saw him naked and it's something he's well down or something. Like
I come to the conclusion I'm glad I'm more conservative because it just takes so much energy to try to keep up the rapidly changing tastes and ideas of what's right or wrong for the Democrats. I couldn't keep up, so I'll stick on my path.
But here's a question: who gives a crap if he said that? Really, honestly, if you,
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny.
If a guy stands up in the middle of Steve Each and says it. Are you going to have that bad of a night? He said that.
One comedian one time was talking to Robin Williams, and they're talking about Milton Berle, and then one guy said he was at a sauna where Milton Berle was obviously naked and he goes he thought his unit was a midget sitting beside him, and Robin Williams is cracked up. I mean, it's funny to make a joke about that. I mean, God, if he tries to make a joke about it, he's wrong for breathing. They hate him. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, they're saying look, this is how unhinged he is to be able to say it. It's like, dude, do me a favor, get a sense of humor once, just laugh about something.
It's like you can't.
But I think we're coming out of it. I think people are waking up now and they're not accepting this BS.
Well, we are.
But no, I think the United States is, and I think you're going to see with this election that people have their big boy pants on. And they want to wear them now.
Yeah, I can kind of go with that one because I was at this show this week in Jackson.
Yeah.
And one of my friends pulled me over and we were all talking, and I hadn't saw them for about 4 or 5 months because this is a whole new crew that we work with throughout the fall and the winter. And the guy goes, and we were talking, and they said exactly what Steve said. Without even talking to Steve, they're like, by 8 o'clock. And the guy goes, I drink only 3 beers a week. He said, or 3 beers a year.
Right.
He said, I'm going to drink a 12-pack that night. He said, because I'm going to be drinking and go to bed because I'm celebrating that she's losing. He said it's going to be a blowout.
I'm not celebrating that she's losing. I'm celebrating because things are going to change.
He said by 8 o'clock, he said she'll be gone. So he believes Trump will win by 8 o'clock, or they're going to steal it by 10 o'clock.
If you try to watch, I'm not going to watch. I will not watch the local. The national news.
No, I don't. No.
Trump went. Screw them and their projections.
Well, another thing is that you hear where I saw a piece too somewhere. I don't know exactly where this is. That Kamala Harris is blasting her campaign manager for 30 minutes about the failures and all this stuff for 30 minutes, screaming at her, berating her. That shows an act of desperation. So I think that the press might be saying that she's leading here, or there's a possibility she's going to pull it off. But what I'm hearing,
there's not. Nowhere I'm seeing is anyone saying that she's leading anywhere. It's Trump by a landslide.
And the best part is she came to Detroit, had these guys out of Detroit to come do this one speech that she went to. She was up there for only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And Trump talks 2.5 hours.
And they're sitting there saying he's full of dementia. He can sit there talking to people for over a spot. And then the thing about you were talking about last week about him swinging at the YMCA and talking all the different music and how the media was going so crazy about at that town hall where the people where was he at in Pennsylvania, where those two people were getting hurt or they were sick and he was waiting for them to play music.
Oh, they were trying. Yeah, they played it as if he lost track in his speech when he was waiting for the people had dehydration going down for heat.
Yeah.
And they tried to cut it up and play it like Trump lost his mind or whatever, so he had to cut the rally short.
It goes back to we brought up points as like the left when they're doing something and they want to cast it as a bad thing, they put it on somebody else. That's what they do all the time. I mean, Hillary Clinton, at one time she go like that, like
that was crazy with the balloons.
Yeah, the balloons and stuff. She was like acting weird, and she looked like she was having some kind of seizure
because of the colors.
Yeah, I mean,
but the thing is, it doesn't work anymore because, like you watching the football game and TikTok at the same time, when you're getting a real world view on TikTok about what's. That's why they want to close down TikTok and other sites like it.
Well, look at John Kerry's comment. Harder to govern. They're not listening to us
to get through the noise.
The noise.
Noise. Maybe we have to do something about this First Amendment.
Yeah, maybe we have to eliminate it. I mean. I see these cop audit videos. I'm a big fan of these.
The good thing is, but he's going to die soon, and I think a lot of the BS is going to die with him.
The evil doesn't die early, though.
I don't. I don't see a Dr. Evil Jr. for him coming up.
Is he even a Congress? Is he even
I don't know.
They made him something. I don't know. He was in. I don't know what he is. I don't care either.
The way he was talking to him and his friends are emperors. He should be.
He needs to be in a retirement.
Well, another thing is too. Okay, Kamala Harris is how old is she? She's in her
60? She's 60 yesterday.
Okay, so she's like what 12, 14 years younger than 12 years younger, 10, 12 years younger than Trump.
Like 18.
Yeah, so 18, and he's got more energy. I'm sorry.
The thing is, I think the politicians after 60 they should retire.
I'm beginning to think that too.
I think after Trump.
That's it.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if they say the cutoff is 60 years old.
Because let's face it, man. I mean, you and I have to. You and I don't know, but we have to talk to other people who are younger because I don't really care what's going on with their music scene. I don't really care because I don't like it. It's not.
But if you're going to govern, you should be should know what the kids are doing, or at least understand it, and not go, how do I use this iPhone?
Well, another thing is, I'd like to say
I'd like to see that dumb woman use an iPhone.
I mean, Kamala?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she could.
I think she has to have somebody hand it to her after it's been ringing.
An iPhone is an iPhone.
Well, I'm just saying any phone.
Yeah, something profound like that. Does she think she's like being a Yoda or something? I don't know.
She wished herself a happy birthday.
Did she?
Yeah.
She probably did. Knowing her, she did.
Give herself a piece of cake.
Put a picture of herself up and said, I'd like to wish myself a happy birthday or something like that.
If she actually did that, I gotta believe she's.
There's a meme. If you can search for it after the show.
I can mention it. Maybe you want to say, you can jokingly say, hey, it's my birthday, so I'm open to any gifts you want to give us, other than the payola that I usually get. But no, I can see that. No, I can understand maybe acknowledging if somebody brings it up, and I mean, I think that's really a crass act to do when that means you don't have any friends. But
I think the last week or last 2 weeks, she's had a really bad 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think so. I think everywhere she's turned, she's really sucked. And if you know, she's not gone to any more interviews.
Yeah, what's the ratio of how many interviews that Trump's done compared to what they've done?
It doesn't matter at this point.
No, she's gone 90 days now.
You can't tell me there's someone that I don't. How can you be undecided? I'm undecided. I can't decide what between Kamala Harris or is that how you say her name?
Kamala. Yeah.
I can't decide between the two of them. How can you do that?
If you can't decide.
And how can abortion be your biggest issue? How can somebody wear that on their sleeve? Especially a 90-year-old woman is concerned about abortion.
It's like
if you're thinking about abortion at 90 years old,
you actually got that. There was a TikTok about this woman, her 82-year-old grandmother, trying to get her to you want to vote for Kamala Harris? She's for abortion.
Did you
yes.
It reminds me of the Robin Williams thing. He goes about Dr. Ruth Weisheimer. You know, she's in her 70s and saying about the sex expert.
Talking about sex.
Yeah.
And that's so.
When's the last time you seen it? To repeat as Dr. Ruth. You know, it's like, yeah, you want to listen to somebody.
You don't want that answer. That you don't want that answer.
I don't want to answer. But I thought I have to go back to Robin Williams. On the left, but he made some great astute observations.
But he never really.
I like Robin Williams. I like George.
Robin Williams was Robin Williams.
Wait, Robin Williams was out. He went for the shock value of the art and for the joke, and he did it. And then, like, George Carlin, he ripped both sides.
Yes,
he ripped both sides.
And that's what
you can't do that nowadays.
That was the comedians.
Yeah.
They went both sides. You didn't care what they were doing because they were if they were going to rip the left. They ripped a light. They ripped right, just right beside them.
Well, I call Republicans repubes. That's what I call them. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, and I'm more like, politically, I'm doctrinally more connected to them than I am the other side, obviously, but the other side that way, left. But I don't like them. I mean,
I don't like the local Republicans.
No, I don't. The bulk of them, I don't. They're like, no, I don't care.
They're afraid to do anything.
Well, I don't care about that. No, they're happy being their little hoity-toities.
Yeah, just
they have their Lincoln Log dinner every year, and that's their claim to fame.
And it's like, and it should change. I mean, I kept on making that point 30 some years ago. I was working with a friend of mine who was running as a Republican in this area. And I said, God, these people are like, you might as well just hold it in they're in a mortuary, their meetings, because they're dead. That's what it is.
No young people.
No, I mean,
I went to one meeting and then I just started hanging out with Democrats because they're more fun. And they are.
There.
And we had some real good Democrats locally. We did. I mean, some nice ones. Of course, a lot of them.
We've had more Democrats. We've made more Democrat friends than we have Republican friends over the course of being in this studio.
And the thing is, they kind of like.
I mean, actually, we call them friends.
Yeah, well, they kind of like the fact that when we started, we're kind of underground. Literally, we're underground, and they like that because that's what they used back in the '60s. That kind of a vehicle. For medium. And
because I'm not gonna say we figured out how to do this before you were supposed to, because most people were podcasting and we figured out how to do video.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, the video we first got was nowhere the quality of the video we got currently, but I mean, we're pioneers. I mean, not tooting our own horn, but I mean, serious. We were pioneers in this field for this area. Yeah.
So we'll bring them back in here.
Yeah. That's where.
I don't want to give us money. Me and John like money now.
It's like if you want a political thing here, we just a few bucks. But no, it's like one guy called for Republican a couple months ago. He was running for office, and before the primary, this would be like July. And he and this other guy want to come in. I said $20 each to come in, which I don't think is a lot of money. Cover the phone bill, the light bill, and I didn't hear from him again.
For $20.
For $20 a piece for two guys. They couldn't pour.
They didn't make it through the primary, did they?
Yeah, they didn't make it through it.
No, they didn't have the money to get through the primary.
Yeah, so it's like if you can't do that, you're not. I hate to say this, but it takes money to move the apparatus for the political system. That's a reality. Okay, I didn't invent it.
You know what they think is, oh my God, we're going to be so honored to bring people in because they're running for political and they're going to give us a boost.
That's exactly what you and I said. It's like, you think we're honored to have you in here? No,
we'll give you a boost.
Yeah,
I mean, like for once you talk about, we're getting views off of our shorts on different ones because they like our hairdos.
Yeah, that's so good. So we're going to try to come up with more interesting.
Our lack of hairdo.
Our lack of hairdo.
Yeah. See, that's like what you can just say. Yours is basic. You don't have to worry about it.
I shave it every day.
No, in the wintertime, it does got to be I got.
Actually, we have the different stages of baldness.
Yeah. This is complete. You guys
have achieved the perfection now. No.
Actually, to be honest with you,
you haven't been honest with us?
No.
What do you got to tell us, man?
You're training?
Here's a confession. No, God, no.
Oh, I said that. I should have said that.
No.
We're so far in the show, nobody's watching.
No one watches us.
Well, we got one person. Maybe that's us. I don't know. Yeah, I got one person. Hi, guy. Whoever it is, or hi, person, whoever you are.
No, but this has been a pretty interesting week for Trump. He's pretty much knocked the living daylights, I think. Don't you? I mean, do you?
Yeah, I told you it was over a couple of weeks ago.
I think he's just having fun right now, just knocking her upside the head.
I think he enjoys this. I mean,
he's being nice, but he is like when he wished her happy birthday and somebody should send her fries. When he said he was going to send her flowers,
send her some flowers.
You know what? That would have been funny if he sent her flowers. That would have been cute.
No, I don't know. I think it'd be a nice thing to do. If you're running against somebody, why wouldn't you?
Because Doug would have been pissed.
It's okay.
Doug, no. He's probably with the nanny.
Yeah, he probably is with it.
Why? She's probably going, we don't have kids. We don't have any kids. Why do we still need a nanny?
Do they? But do they have kids together? Or
no, they don't. But he's got two. Are his kids?
He's got a non-binary.
Is that non-binary?
I think so.
I don't know what that kid looks like.
She,
I seen a picture of
she's tall and skinny with
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
I'm not busting on anybody's kids.
No, I'm not either. I just don't know.
Yeah, we're not Democrats. No.
No, I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah,
The kids aren't running for office.
That's like Chelsea Clinton. Even though I mean the family was not a good family, I remember the one thing the Republicans made a point of was not going after Chelsea. But you,
No,
if
well,
that
they
was the
shouldn't.
Republicans versus
I mean, why
Democrats
should
going
you?
after them.
No.
But I'm not going to say anything bad about their kid.
No.
But
And I think the kids should always be offline, even after they get over 18 years old. You know, I think I thought Ivanka, even though she's in the White House, she should have been off limits. Even though she was in the White House,
She was.
her off.
Right.
No, she wasn't.
Chelsea Clinton.
No, Ivanka Trump was not off limits.
Oh, but she put herself
She
out
put
there.
herself
She's
out
part of
there,
her father's administration.
Yeah, I know,
When you
but
do that, you can't hide. If you're
wasn't
part
in
of the administration and you're doing something on your father's behalf, who's the president of the United States, you just made yourself full game.
Okay, we'll talk about this one. Here's another thing. Did you find out that they found out that there's a leak? Amazingly, that today they found out that there was a leak about all the things that are happening out over in Israel, going out to every place, or the battle plans.
I wouldn't. Probably Israel doing it to try to.
No,
I don't want to talk about Israel.
No, I don't know. It's not talking about Israel. I'm talking about another leak comes from the White House, and now you know what? They're surprised. How many surprises have they had about leaks in the last 4 years?
I don't think it matters.
That's like
I think they're trying to keep Israel quiet right now.
And they also asked the White
Israel's
House,
made all the moves they're going to make until after the election.
I think so, but then they asked KJP, and they said, "Well, what do you think is going to happen when Trump wins?"
She doesn't even know what time it is.
They asked her.
How's she going to have a full? I don't even know why you're bringing it up.
Well, here's the question they did have. Because here's a question though. They asked a question. So what would be your answer about this thing that Elon Musk is giving away money for the spot?
Oh,
petitions.
what's his name? Shapiro from is it Shapiro from Pennsylvania, the governor? He was questioned whether it was legal or not, and he answered every other question, but whether it is. Yes, it's legal, or he wouldn't be doing it.
I'm sure
Where he's giving $1 million a day away until the election for people to sign the petition.
It's his money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they hate. It's no, we
But
want
they're
it as our
upset,
money.
and they want to find some way to take him. They're not going to
take him.
How are they going to take him down?
It's okay. It's okay. If you try to come after him, he can leave. He's not doing anything that's considered like felonies or something. You're trying to come up with a lot to go after him with.
Elon Musk is the richest person in the world.
You want to take him down?
And you're going to take him down.
Because he's got, let's face it, he's got lawyers that he could pay. He could sit there and he can outspend the U.S. government for.
They always do that, and they make him out to be an idiot. How can you? Someone who's done as much as, and maybe he hasn't done it directly, but he comes up with the ideas to do these things,
and he knows,
and he puts them into.
He brings
action
reality.
Through his words through action.
Well, look what he did. Look what he did with the space thing he's got going on. I mean, they're going to depend on him to get these stranded astronauts back. I mean, okay, do that. Come after me.
Well, that's how stupid the media is. They're saying how dumb he is, but yet they're showing the rocket motor coming back down and docking on the on. He caught a rocket motor.
Yeah,
which we've never done.
No,
but he's dumb. He's dumb.
Yeah, he's dumb.
He's dumb.
Okay, but some people can say this, and probably so, that he's drawn from the failures and successes of our U.S. government's program. Maybe that's true, but let's face it, the innovation he's done at this level surpasses that. Okay, he has. He's already brought that about.
I mean, he was the first one to think of why are we just blowing up these engines and why aren't we reusing them?
Yeah, it's like, well,
and he did it.
Because the reason why he was paying for it, he said, see, the government's saying, hell, we don't care if it's one use. And he's saying, well, I don't know. I paid for this. I want to use it over and over again if I can. You see, that's the thing is, I mean, when you look at frugality,
government needs to be out of the way.
Right, because frugality is not one of their concerns.
That's the smartest thing they would do is just have a group but they can't even do that right because they take bribes and they take the cruddiest contractor.
Right.
Look at our bridges. What is it, Missouri? Where are the bridges crumbling right now?
All over.
No, they're really crumbling right now.
Oh, I know that one in Minnesota.
And that's why is because you take these shitty contractors, just like the city of Flint when they're burying the water pipes.
Right beside.
Nobody's going to know what's buried here for 20 or 30 years, and by then
we'll be out of here.
We'll be out of here.
Right. And they had
same thing with those bridges.
And they had contractors, I think, initially that didn't have any experience doing anything like this whatsoever.
No,
because they met a criteria.
But even at local governments suck.
Take that all the way back if you do, and it'll take you back to Mitt Romney's dad.
Okay.
If you really go back that far.
That's like
What are
what?
we talking about now?
Yeah, about the water.
The water.
Oh, the water that far back?
In the city of Flint?
If you take that back to the city of Flint, all the way back to the government of Michigan, who actually does that, I can guarantee you that Mitt Romney's dad had something to do with that.
Yeah, I never thought of that connection, but
What, with burying wooden water pipes? I don't think he was alive
no,
back then.
no, that was
No, Mitt Romney, not Mitt Romney, Mitt Romney's dad.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that Mitt Romney is dead. If you take it back, I've looked at I studied the history one time. If you took the parallels of the history,
Oh, because the Romneys used to be big in Michigan, is what you were
Yeah.
trying
yeah.
to say.
Well, they still are in the Republican Party in Michigan.
Yeah, because remember they had one. I forget what her name was. She was running
Rhoda.
for a
Anna
while.
McDonald.
And Rhoda too, and Rhoda Romney.
Yeah,
Was it
they
Amanda
boot-
McDonald or
The
something?
last one that they just booted out.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald or something like that. Ronald McDonald or something.
You just tried to say her name.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you're trying to say. Is
I'm
it
saying
that
if you take
that
this
his
history-
money was in it?
You're saying the contract.
I don't know.
that
Next,
you gotta pay
next,
for
next.
it.
No, I just hope that our optimism is not going to met with disaster, but I do expect to see Donald Trump elected and again be in the White House again, after November 5th.
I mean, are you waiting on anything as a business owner that you're going to change if Donald Trump comes in? And do you think you're going to you would take chances that you wouldn't take if Kamala Harris were in office?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do.
Yeah, because I think that's probably that's a common thought amongst business people. Is
Oh, and then anybody
take a fortune
anybody
contract.
whose futures invested in the stock market, especially people that have trust in different things, I think that they want Donald Trump to be in there because I know people who do have it that did get something out of it when Donald Trump won the last time.
The scare markets
the-
in 2016 that we're looking at really what was going on.
But it was like night and day. The next
Yeah.
day, things started kicking in, and people started getting thousands of dollars on their returns.
well, just look at the fact that the tax cut he get implemented.
Oh,
the
that
last
was
time.
horrible. At work, these people were crying so bad because they didn't get the $7,000 that they normally got. But I'm saying you have your family. You were getting an extra $150 a month
Yeah.
all year. So if you don't want to do it next year, you need to let the government have an extra $150 out of your paycheck. Oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, see, people that got so used to thinking that's this little nest
Like it's
egg
a
I got
bank
saved up.
account.
It's a bank account. Guess what? That's what their banks are for. You said if that money you're saving now, if you want to shift it so you can actually build on it, put it into an account, get enough money, do some investing. You can have that. You can work on like that. You can do it on yourself. The government's not going to give you a good yield on it
No.
because that money's gone.
I
before it
would
gets
rather
there.
pay the government money at the end of the year than have them have one dime of my money because
every
that
penny
means
they-
I had their money all year long.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's money because basically people you get this. You got $20 now. It's going to be worth that $20 now is worth more. That's going to be $20 next year because that's not the buying power is going to be diminished.
Because that 7,000 that you think you got, if you would have got it throughout the year, it could have been maybe only $100 more.
Right.
But still, that's $100 more, right?
Right. It's like, see, the money they take from you, you can actually have on your own account if it's working right. You can actually have it invested in it. So actually, you could take opportunities for
And
investment.
the same thing. I was talking with a friend about a 401k, how that's a scam. Because what happens is you put that money in today that's worth $1, and then when you get old enough to start drawing on it, that dollar today might only be worth 40 cents. And then plus the taxes that you have to pay
And you
on
paid
taxes.
it, yeah.
If you're paying into a 401k, then you're not getting some crazy returns. You're dumb.
See, and another thing is too, I mean, that's what causing. Yeah, it is scary to be an investor. Okay, it is scary. It's scary to also be a business person because you're signing on the dotted line at a bank loan or whatever. You could lose everything. I'm serious. You know that, right? I mean, it's a precarious. That's the reason why you want the success and the money you see the business owners have, but you don't want to take the risk, and you want to vilify them because they have taken the risk. Well, that risk comes reward possibly.
And that must be hard because as a business owner, you're not thinking next year.
Right.
You're thinking today, tomorrow, and
5
maybe
years.
next week.
But also then you also try to keep an eye on something 5 years from down the road.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're ever that successful.
Yeah, but
You pray to God to stay awake.
Because this had to be a horrible year for a business owner.
We're
I mean, because
behind.
I've seen comments from other business owners online where they're just saying they're selling a product or a service that's not, it's not really needed.
Right.
It's a luxury, and it's hard.
We're down 40%.
yeah, and that's. I don't see how you guys stay afloat. I don't. It's,
I was talking
But
to one of my
I
friends
think
today.
if Trump gets in, Black Friday is going to be crazy.
Yeah, our shows once Trump gets in, our shows should turn around.
mhm.
People really.
Well, I think it's
funny.
going to take a minute for people to come out of the days.
I don't think so.
I think by Christmas,
I think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna once they know it's
because the media's not going to admit it.
No, once they hear Trump wins,
But the media is not going to be singing his praises.
no. But people people have got a lot more common sense than the media does. Once people and people are go along with their brains farther than the media's. Media, they don't believe. 90%
But there,
of people
believe it or not, there's a lot of people that listen to them.
yeah, and listen to people from the social media get paid to say bullshit stuff, and people tell you you get $3,000 just to trash Donald Trump, so they don't even know anything about Donald Trump. You got these guys who are paying on YouTube, on TikTok.
They're supposed
who
to
are
be
trashing them.
influencers, and
They're
that's another
influencers.
thing that I was thinking about. That Taylor Swift has no credibility with TikTok or
No.
the average kid anymore. Like they try to play her off as
Right.
having, because do you ever see? I mean, yeah, I'm old and I'm on TikTok. What you gonna do about it? But and I look at it. The only Taylor Swift I see on there is where
People are making fun
they're
of
making
her.
fun of her.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
using her
see her
songs
music.
stupidly.
They're
Yeah.
not using her music for dance videos.
They're using it for stupid things.
Yeah.
I just think that I like the influencers if they're organic developed. I guess it's like people they resonate well. People like them, but they don't do that.
That's the way that it's happening now.
Right.
Right.
I mean, look at everyone. What's her name? Billy.
I can't.
What I'm trying to say is they're all came from TikTok or YouTube, the ones that are big right now.
Right.
And
Look
that's
at that one guy who wrote the song.
Billy
The Working Man.
Irish was the name I was trying to think of, and Justin Bieber's one of the most famous YouTubers that transitioned.
Yeah, but look at the guy that wrote that song. The Working Man from West Virginia.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
North Richmond. Overnight success, just right off of TikTok or off of YouTube, right?
YouTube, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's YouTube.
But he never crossed over. He remained true to the
roots
His
and
roots.
his roots and said, I don't want that.
he turned down the record deals and stuff like that,
Yeah.
recording deals and
Well,
stuff.
I don't know if this is anything is going to come out of this or
But
not.
that just goes to what I'm saying is the media, before they could generate artists and make them seem relevant because they had all the national media had all the TV studios and radio stations where they could play their songs and make you think that, like I told you, you're only as big as you can make people think you are.
Right.
And that's what they did a lot of. They don't have that strength anymore.
They don't. That's diminished, and let's face it. As John Kerry's comments show, these are the people in power resent that. They're that losing of power.
I'm proud to be the political noise.
Yeah, I am too.
That John Kerry can't get through.
Yeah, because you know what, you got a great life for forcing the rest of us in the dark. Well, guess what? That tables are turning on you. People are saying, "How's this benefited me?" It hasn't. It has you.
It used to be Granddad would retire
and
go away.
These guys
and John Kerry should have retired and went away a long time ago.
They're relevant.
Hillary Clinton should have retired and went away a long time ago. And I'm sorry to say, well, I'm glad Trump's the exception to the rule, in my opinion.
To be honest with you, though, he's not a real politician.
No, he's not.
No,
he's a businessman that's going to go in there and say, "Hey, it's time to clean it up."
If he was, how to lie better.
He's a goal-driven person.
Yeah,
right.
And his goal is to fix the country.
And they don't like that.
No, because they took too long to get this screwed up the way it is.
It's going to be crazy when he wins. I mean, not the Democrats. They're always crazy. And I don't care if their mental health issues aren't my issues. So if they off themselves or want to say goodbye to this world,
Rob, if you want to light yourself on fire,
I do what you got to do.
I guess I'm supposed to say I don't care about that either myself, but I mean, I think it's extreme. And if you do that, it means you had nothing else but that in your life.
Well, they're probably on the majority of them probably on public assistance, anyways.
What would you? I mean, Rob Reiner saying that he's from.
Who is Rob Reiner?
No, I know. What crosses your what?
Nothing, because I don't spend one.
Say that
I don't spend any time.
Himself?
Yeah, you're gonna let yourself on fire. What possible brain mannerism?
He's been irrelevant. I mean, when's the Princess? What was it? Princess Diary and Princess Bride was the last great movie that he's made, and that was.
40 years ago.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's just, I mean, if you don't do this, that's what the left's always about.
But I mean, what?
But they don't have that power anymore.
Well, I think it's like, I always thought it was stupid. Like, you're going to
You're
harm
not
yourself.
know-
listening to me.
I know
You're not listening to me. You're acting like a Democrat right now.
No. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, what sane person in this world would ever say that?
But that's a qualifier that you've already said it. What sane person would say it? They are insane. I mean, that's insane. I mean,
But nobody would care. I'd even light the match.
I
for
probably
them.
hand them the matches or the lighter. But here's the thing: but I won't win it because I don't want to be arrested for attempted suicide or attempted murder. But the
Why?
thing is,
It's legal in some states.
well, make sure
If it's
make sure we're in
assisted,
the right state.
if it's
But-
assisted and done
well,
in a therapeutic environment,
but
it's
here's-
fine.
But here's what gets me.
I don't know about
They're going
fire,
to have,
though.
they have this guy online sitting there on the mainstream
he did,
media.
but
He
who
sits there and
cares?
calls about how Trump's not
Obviously-
mentally stable.
Obviously,
Like,
it's
he's
living
gonna
in your
say-
brain.
No, he's not living in my
Because we
brain.
talked about that like 3 shows ago, and it's
Well, we
still
talked about that a
there.
long time ago. But no, I'm just saying he'll tell the mainstream media, and the mainstream media model will sit there, and I'll have a circle around this and talk about how Trump does not have, mental stability. Yeah, he'll say, "I want to go light myself on fire," and nobody questions.
oh, that's
this.
a good. Well, yeah, that's true too. But like again, they basically are like children. They want to hold a temper tantrum, and everybody have to give in to their
And
demands.
nobody, but it's not working
No,
anymore.
it's
It's
not.
like a kid that's called Wolf too many
many
times,
times.
and nobody cares.
Who
So now he's want to light the fire and just watch it.
It's just, okay,
But
you
it's
said
not
you're gonna
okay.
do
But,
it,
but what it is okay. He was a big fish.
years ago.
It was a big pond that
Back
one
then,
day.
yeah.
But now that pond is a small pond, and he tries to go on YouTube or tries to go on TikTok, and he can't gain any traction because nobody cares.
It's like that's got to be pathetic because it's a big
It has
blow
to
their
be a
ego.
big
To
blow.
their
to-
ego. Oh my
Could
God,
you
that's what they live on.
imagine?
They live on that. I mean, yeah, it's highly weird. So
Oh wait, I did mess up. I told you that Kamala Harris hasn't done an interview after Rep here. I'm sorry.
Bottom line up front, please.
Bottom line, she did. She went to Al Sharpton.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
The usual race baiter. So
That was a good one.
so anyway, you want to wrap it up today?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Okay.
We got to come.
Wait. Let's not even wrap it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to show these
Yeah, these cups. you've been
these
saying,
cups that Steve has made. These are awesome.
and these shirts.
And welcome to the shirts that
They're for us, not your.
We haven't got away about marketing them yet, but
we're getting ready to
For
market. it.
what? We don't have anything to market yet.
that's
We're
right.
looking to get ready because Steve is the mastermind behind the show and mastermind behind the
Yeah.
marketing. These are awesome.
They look really incredible. They really do.
So the man who actually puts everything together, who doesn't take
That guy right
credit,
there.
is this man right here. Does not take any of the credit, but he's the mastermind behind us.
If I was by my
Push the button.